Good day, ma'am. Our group will be presenting the employment relationship. So first, let's define what is employment relationship. The term employment relationship describes the interconnections that exist between employers and employees in the workplace. It can be formal and informal. They can have an individual dimension, which refers to individual contracts and expectations, or a collective dimension, which refers to a relationship between management and trade unions, staff associations, or members of joint consultative bodies such as work councils. Now let's proceed to the nature of employment relationship. So as you can see in our PowerPoint presentation, there is an image regarding to the topic and it is described by Kessler and Undi on the year 1996. Now, the parties are managers, employees, and employee representatives. The substance incorporates the job, reward, and career of individuals and the communications and culture of the organizations as it affects them. It can also include collective agreements and joint employee relations machinery, work councils, and the like. The formal dimensions include the rules and procedures, and the informal aspect covers understanding, expectations, and assumptions. Finally, the employment relationship exists at different levels in the organization. Management to employees generally, and managers to individual employees and their representatives or groups of people. The operations of the relationship will also be affected by processes such as communications and consultation by the management and by the management style prevailing throughout the organization or adopted by individual managers. Thank you.
Basis of employment relationship. The main basis of employment relationship is the terms and conditions of employment between the parties. There is no legal requirements for a contract of employment to be in writing. It can be oral or written or a mixture of both. Defining employment relationship. The employment relationship is the legal link between employers and employees. It exists when a person performs work or services under certain conditions in return for remuneration. It is the key point of reference for determining the nature and extent of employers' right and obligation toward their workers.
Okay, good morning everyone. I'm Joshua Ligaspi. I will be discussing the significance of the employment relationship concept. The concept of the employment relationship is significant to HR specialized because it governs much of what organization needs to be aware of in developing and applying HR processes, policies, and procedures. Dito nagbe-base lang siya dun sa obligation and rights of the employer to employee. Dun lang siya nagbe-base. Changes in employment relationship as noted by Gallie et al. At 1998 in their analysis of the outcome of their employment in retainer search program, while there have been shift in the ways in which people are employed. Dito naman, yung mga pagbabago sa relationship ng trabaho ay malalaman habang nangyayari o tumatanda yung isang populasyon. Doon na siya nagbe-base sa changes in employment relationship are likely to occur as the population age. Ayun, noted din siya ni Gallie. Dito naman sa, diba nga doon sa changes in employment relationship, meron siya doon 8 noted si Gallie. Dito yung first, the new form of the management often based explicitly or implicitly of HRM principles and emphasizing individual contracts rather than collective bargain. Ito yung mga bagong anyo ng pamamahala, kadalasang tahasan o tuwirang nakabatay sa mga prinsipyo ng HRM at binibigyan diin ang mga individual na kontrata o contract sa halip na kolektibong pakikipagkasundo. Next, there was some increase in task discretion, but there was no evidence of the significant decline in managerial control. Indeed, in some important respect, control was intensified. Dito, merong ilang pagtaas o sa pagkapasya sa gawain, ngunit walang katibayan ng isang makabuluhang pagbaba ng kontrol ng pamamahala. Sa katunayan, sa ilang mahalagang aspeto, kontrol ay pinaigting lang. Next is, supervisory activity was still important. Dito, mahalaga pa rin yung mga aktibidad sa pangangasiwa sa isang parang kumpanya kasi nakalagay dito eh. Mahalaga pa rin yung aktibidad sa pangangasiwa. Okay, next is integrative forms of management policies were centered on non-manual employees. Dito naman yung mga pinagsama-samaan nyo ng mga patakaran sa pamamahala. Ay naka-center lang siya dun sa mga hindi mano-manong empleyado. Kumbaga dun lang sa syempre nasa na to, yung empleyadong to, mga technology na yung ginagamit nila. Kaya hindi na sa kanila naka-center yung isang ninoted ni Gallie. Then next is, the great majority of employees continue to attach a high level of importance to the intrinsically motivating aspect of work. Dito naman sa malaking mayorya ng mga empleyado ay patuloy na naglalagay ng mataas na antas ng kahalagahan sa mga intrinsically motivating aspeto ng trabaho. Next is the higher the level of skill, the more people were involved with their work. Kung mas mataas nga naman yung antas ng kasanayan ng isang magtatrabaho, ay mas maraming tao na ang makakasangkot sa kanilang mga trabaho. Next, the raising of skills level and the granting of increased discretion of employers are key factors in improving the quality of work experience. Dito naman yung sa pagtaas ng mga antas sa kasanayan at nagbibigay ng mga mas mataas na pagkapasya sa mga employer ay mga pangunahing salik lamang sa pagpapabuti ng kalidad ng karanasan sa trabaho. Tapos ito na yung last na sinabi niya, yung ninoted ni Gallie. High levels of the commitment of the organization can reduce absenteeism and labor turnover, but there was no evidence that organization commitment added anything over and above other organizational and task characteristic with regarding to the quality of work performance. Dito naman yung pangako sa organisasyon ay maaaring mabawasan. Kumbaga yung nakaatang sa kanila ay pwede mabawasan. Tapos yung pagliban ng mga labor turnover ay walang ebidensya kung bakit nga ba nangyayari yun sa isang organisasyon. Nalagdagan ng anumang bagay na higit sa iba pang mga katangian ng organisasyon at gawaing patungkol sa kalidad ng pagganap ng trabahador.
Hello, I'm the next reporter, John Lloyd Guevara. The first topic was managing the employment relationship. The dynamic and often nebulous nature of the employment relationship increases the difficulty of managing it. The problem is compounded because of the multiplicity of the factors that influence the contract. HR specialists can contribute to the development of a positive and productive employment relationship in the numerous following ways. One is during recruitment interviews, by presenting the realistic job preview to its induction programs, communicating to new starters the organization's personal policies and procedures and its core values. Third is issuing and updating employment handbooks. Number 4, by encouraging the development of performance management. 5, by encouraging the use of personal development plans. 6, by using the learning and development programs to underpin core values and define performance expectations. 7, by ensuring through manager and team leader training that managers and team leaders understand their role in managing their employment relationship. 8, by encouraging the maximum amount of contact between managers and team leaders and their team members. 9, by adopting the general policy of transparency. It ensures that all matters that affects them employees know what is happening. Number 10, by developing HR procedures covering grievance handling, discipline, equal opportunities, promotion, and redundancy, and ensuring that they are implemented fairly and consistently. 11. Developing and communicating HR policies covering the major areas of employment, development, reward, and employee relationship. 12. By ensuring that the reward system is developed and managed. 13. By advising on employee relation procedures, processes, and issues that further good collective relationship. These approaches to managing employment relationships cover all aspects of people management. The second topic was trust and the employment relationship. The IPD commented that in too many organizations, inconsistency between what is said and what is done undermines trust. It generates employee cynicism and provides evidence of contradiction in management thinking. What is the meaning of trust? Trust, as defined by the Oxford English Dictionary, is a firm belief that a person may be relied on. What is a climate of trust? A climate of trust was organizational participants must share particular goals or values so that they can build trust and make the organization safer and more productive. When do employees trust management? Management is more likely to be trusted by employees when the latter believe what the management means what it says. Observe that management does what it says it is going to do, suiting to the action of the word. Know from the experience that management feel they are treated fairly, equitable, and consistently. Developing a high trust organization. Trust will be developed if management acts fairly, equitably, and consistently and a transparent policy is implemented. Justice. It was divided by two parts. The first part was distributive justice. It refers to how rewards are distributed. People will feel that they have been treated justly in this respect if they believe that rewards have been distributed in accordance with their contributions, that they receive what was promised to them and they get what they need. The second part was procedural justice. It refers to the way in which managerial decisions are made and HR procedures are managed. People will feel that they have been treated justly if management's decisions and procedures are fair, consistent, transparent, and non-discriminatory and properly consider the views and needs of employees. Renewing trust. As suggested by Harriet et al. 1998, if trust is lost, a four-step program is required for its renewal. 1. Admission of lack of attention to the needs of their employees. 2. A limited contracting procedures in which a specific transition to a different method of working by a group of employees is done in a way that takes individual requirements into account. Number 3. Creating knowledge-based trust, which is based on developing perceptions on trustworthiness rather than specific transaction contract. 4. Creating identification-based trust, in which party empathizes with each other needs and thereby takes them on board themselves.
Thank you.